Hello, my name is Thiago Scarton. I'm from the location-based service team, and on this video I would like to show you how linear layers are displayed on the map and how can you use the tools provided by Spatial 7601 to work with the linear layers. Okay, so before I show you on the map, I'd like to show you my map manager and how I configured my linear graphic layers. Okay, so inside the registry, inside the map manager registry, I have configured two map searches. The first one, it represents some rails road. The second one is the base map. And for the first map services, I have created a relationship between a feature on the map to an asset on Massimo side. Okay, so this is the relationship, this is the system of record, and this is the object to keep this relationship. So if you don't know how to configure it, you can watch the TTEC videos about Spatial 7600. All right, on the linear tab, I have my layers, my applications, asset. In this demo, I will use the asset application, and here are the linear layers. Okay, for the asset spec, I have changed a little bit the attributes. I kept the default one, start measure and end measure, but I also included the num value and the measure unit value, because on this demo I will create some segments on top of the map that represents speed limit. So I'd like to see the value of this speed limit and also the measure, miles per hour, kilometers per hour, and so on. Alright, this is the base configuration, and also I have created an asset, linear asset. Okay, here is the flag for the linear, and I have some specifications here. I have 8 speed, which one has your own start and measure, and the speed limit here. Right, and here is the measure unit. Right, I also have two features, 1 mile post and 1 guardrail, and here is the distance for each one. I have here also relationship with the start and end measure, and I have also created a work order, and this is the measure for the work order, and also a service request. All right, so this is the configuration. So when I create a link between this current asset to our record on the map, all these measures will be available on top of the map. All right, so let's jump to the map tab. Right, so here I have a huge line which can represent a railroad from New York to Washington, right? And I would like to link this entire line, this entire railroad to the current asset. So in order to do that, I can open the Identify tool, click on top of the line, and here there is an option, Link. So when I click on this option here, all the measures will be available on top of the map, on top of this line, right? So I'm just drag a little bit the window here so we can see the linear graphic layers being drawn. All right, so we have the entire line highlighted here, and also we have small measures, which one represents a particular segment from the specification tab, feature tab, relationship, and also service request and work order. Right? So I can still use the identify tool, and I can click, for example, here. Let me zoom a little bit. Right, so when I click on this point, I have here two features. The first one is the line itself, and when I use this arrow here to navigate through all the features, I can see the second feature, which is a service request. And here we have the attributes configured inside the map manager. Alright, for the asset specification, I have included a new attribute, which is the speed limit. I can click here. And here we go. So we have the start and end measure, and also we have the speed limit, 40 kilometers per hour. Okay. Okay. By default, when you create the link between the feature and the asset, we are representing the linear graphic layers using different colors. So as you can see here, and we can open the layer tools to check which color represents which layer. So I can expand here linear, and here we have all the colors for each layer. I can also remove some layers, so I will remove asset specification, which is the blue line over here under the marker. Okay, so I remove all the asset specifications and keep all the other layers. Okay, I can come back. I can also combine layer tools with identify tool. So when I click here, I have the asset specification. I can also make the linear layer selectable or not selectable, as we can do with other kinds of layer. So the blue highlighted on the layer's name, it tells if the layer is selectable or not selectable. So I will click on the layer's name, and now I don't have the highlight anymore. So I can click on top of the specification, and just the line was found. Okay, let me remove the line as well, rails. And when I click here, so I don't have any features available here. If I come back the selectable, now a specification is available. I can also remove the layer, but keep the layer selectable. So the layer is not visible anymore, but is still selectable. So when I click here, I can get informations about that point. Okay, so we can make the layer visible or selectable by using layer tools. Right. Also, we have other tools that now support linear graphic layers. Selection tool is another one. So I can draw here. And here we got the work order. Right. I can also use query by attributes. I need to select the layer. So I'd like to get all the asset specification. I need to select the field, non-value equals 40. So I'd like to get all the speed limits that has the non-value equals 40. So I got 6 segments that has this measure. Okay. Let me just clear here. All right, so as I said before, we are representing each layer using colors, but I can change it. I can change all the symbologies for each layer, for each segment. And also we can configure different colors for the same layer. So let's say, for example, that I have 6 speed limit on top of the line, and I'd like to change the color for segments that has the speed limit equals 40, and I'd like to change the colors for the speed limits equals 20, and so on. So for 20, I'd like to include red. For 40, I'd like to keep blue, and green for the other ones. Manager. So let me open the map manager. Alright, now inside the map manager, I will change the default symbology for some segments for some linear graphic layers on the map. So we can open the map manager registry, and here on the map symbology, you have all the symbology for not just for the linear layer, but also for the entire map. Okay, so you can edit this information here, this JSON file, and you just save and come back to the map, and all the informations here, all the configuration here, will be applied on the fly. So you don't need to restart your server, you don't need to redeploy, and so on. So just change here and go to the map. Okay. Also, you can validate the map symbology. So in this case, everything is correct. You can restore the map symbology. So if by mistake you have included something wrong here, you can restore the default map symbology, right? So let me show you this file using the Notepad++, because here we can see like a tree hierarchy. Sorry, you can see like a tree how the layers are configured. So we have a configuration for each layer. So in this case, I'm using asset. So let me search for asset. Search request. So here, asset. And we have a session here, linear symbology. Right? So let me show you here. So for the linear symbology, we have the object name, asset spec, and we have the default attribute. So if you do not provide any particular configuration, this configuration will be used. So have color, thickness, line style, so on. So in this case, I have included one more configuration for speed, right? And for you can provide the value or a range of values. So just include the start and end value. Okay. So if you provide those 3 values, just the value will be used. So the priority is the value, and then use the start and end value. Right, so in this case, for the speed limit 30, I'm using this color, which is an array. The 3 first values are the RGB colors, so red, green, and blue. And the last value is the transparency of the color. So in this case, I'm saying that for 30, which will be blue, and you can see a little bit through it because the transparency is half. Right, this is the highlight color. So when you move over the segment, this is the color that will be highlighted. Okay, I have another value. So for the speed limit 40, I use the same color, but I will not be able to see under it because the transparency is 1. 1, it means that no transparency will be included. 0, it means that you won't be able to see it because it's fully transparency. Okay, this is the line style. It will be short dash dot dot. On the header of this file, there is a small documentation, and there you can check all the styles that you can include here. Right? Oh, okay, any speed limit different from 30 and 40, you use the default configuration. Okay, I have also changed the asset feature. Here I have included an image. So this part is important. The image will only be used if the start and end measure are equals. So it means that this is a point on the map. Okay. So if your segment is not a point, so you use the color, the line style, and highlight color. Okay. So in this case, if the start and end measure, I have a milepost configured. In this case, it will include this marker here on the map. This is just a demo, but you can include any image you want. Alright, so I will copy this file, come back to the map manager, and overwrite it. Let's just validate. Okay, everything's good. Just save. Okay, I have already saved it. And then when you come back to the map, open the AST application. Map tab. Okay, so as you can see, the asset specification now is a little different. I have a new style for it, and also I have my marker here because this asset feature, it's a milepost and the start measure is equal to the end measure, so this is a point. Okay, so also when we open the layer tools, you see the legends for each. So in this case, for the features, I have this marker and also I have a line, because if I zoom a little bit, so here you go, we have this line here and also the marker. So there are 2 legends for this layer. And for the asset spec, I have 3 different legends. The first one has a small transparency. The second one is a solid line, which means that this speed is not 30 and not 40, is another value. And this one here is the last one, is the one that we have configured. So I can use the identify tool to check it. So in this case is 40, right? And here I have the transparency. It's just dots. I click here and I can see the speed for this particular segment. Alright, this is how you can change the default symbology for each particular linear graphic layer. Alright, thanks for watching and bye.